This is Icon of the Seas, at 1,200 feet long, 160 feet wide, and a staggering 20 decks tall. She's the largest cruise ship in the world. But did Royal Caribbean get it right, or did they overdo it? It's coming up right now on Imagine having the time of your life multiple times a day, not at a port of call, but on board the cruise ship. Icon offers thrills you would expect to find in a theme park like Category 6 Water Park in Crown's Edge, plus new ways to relax with features like the first suspended pool at sea, swim-up bars, and adult-only retreats. I think it will be a trend for new cruise ships as people are looking for the ship to be the vacation, not so much the port of call. See, cruise ships sailing the Caribbean routes in particular need to have over-the-top entertainment and activities. Join me as I take you on a tour of what I think Royal Caribbean got right with Icon of the Seas. When you hear that Icon of the Seas can carry up to 8,000 passengers, you might think that she's a behemoth, an overcrowded monstrosity. But Royal Caribbean did something remarkable. Yes, the ship is massive, but with so many different neighborhoods and things to do, the passengers have ample room to spread out. So, with Icon of the Seas in particular, more people on board doesn't translate to more crowded. And for the record, just because she can carry 5,600 guests and 2,800 crew, it doesn't necessarily mean she sails at 100% capacity. One thing that Royal Caribbean does better than anyone is having space on board that appeals to multi-generational audiences. This includes adult-only areas of its ship like the Hideaway on deck 15 aft. On Icon of the Seas, floating mid-air 8 stories up, adults ages 18 plus can enjoy the first suspended infinity pool at sea. The Hideaway has a DJ that spins relaxing beach beats, cabana-style daybeds in the middle of the water, and a nearby wraparound bar known for making excellent tequila-based beverages. The daybeds in the pool are not complimentary. They can be rented for about $350 if you book in advance. Something to keep in mind is that there's no shade here and no privacy. You'll be in the heart of the pool, which might feel a little awkward, and it's even more awkward when other people in the pool place their drinks on your daybed. The Hideaway is a popular spot during sunset in particular, especially on Western Caribbean itineraries. I recommend that you arrive at least 30 minutes prior to sunset to get a good spot, either at the Hideaway pool or at the Hideaway bar. Thrill Island includes Category 6 Water Park, the largest water park at sea, and in Adrenaline Peak you'll find the daring Crown's Edge experience that takes you over the side of the ship. It's open to kids and adults. Kids must be at least 6 years of age, and there's a maximum weight of 297 pounds. Crown's Edge is part ropes course, part zip line, and just know that it takes you 150 feet above the ocean. In the end, the floor drops out from under you for an even bigger surprise. The $100 admission ticket isn't cheap, but there's no other experience like it. And there's the classic rock climbing wall, a favorite attraction on Royal Caribbean ships, but Icon has 5 different lanes for various abilities. The kiddos must be at least age 6 to climb the wall. If you want to check the cruise planner to see when the wall and Crown's Edge are opened as well, I recommend getting there 20 minutes early, as you'll need to be weighed and fill out a waiver. Thrill Island takes up most of the aft section of deck 16, rivaling water parks on land. Just like a theme park, there are numerous attractions here, so families can literally spend all day up here. And one of the best things about Icon being so large is that this area doesn't feel overcrowded. There are plenty of attractions, so crowds tend to spread out. Water slides are the main draw on Thrill Island. The name Category 6 isn't just a reference to hurricanes, it also refers to the 6 slides that make up the ship's water playground. There are raft slides designed for a family, so everyone can enjoy doing water slides together. And for the more adventurous, there's Pressure Drop, the first free-fall slide at sea where you push yourself over the edge and to a 66-degree incline. Royal Caribbean fans will be glad to know that Icon of the Seas has Storm Chaser slides. These are the dueling mat racer slides where you can race your family to see who is the fastest. Icon's Storm Chaser slides are an incredible 430 feet long. And the biggest thrill of all can be found on Frightening Bolt. It's another drop slide where the floor literally drops out from under you, dropping you 46 feet. Oh, and there's a clear section of the water slide so you can see just how far you're falling. For a more relaxed way to spend time together, check out the Lost Dunes mini golf course. This has become a popular experience on Royal Caribbean ships. I think this course has one of the best themes of any ship with its island shipwreck theme. The sports court is a popular hangout with teens and young adults. Here they'll find open play basketball, soccer, and pickleball. There are often scheduled events and tournaments throughout the day as well. Royal Caribbean fans will be glad to know that Icon of the Seas has a Flowrider surf simulator. This is extremely popular, so I recommend making reservations for it in the Royal Caribbean mobile app. You'll also want to arrive a few minutes early to fill out the waiver. Icon has a number of places to grab a drink or a snack in Thrill Island, so you won't have to wander far in your bathing suit. This was a great design feature and a bit of an improvement over some of the other ships. El Loco Fresh is on Deck 15 near the main pool and just steps away from Thrill Island. Base Camp is located on Deck 16 and has covered seating, which is a great idea because it gets hot out there. If you have a teen between the ages of 13 and 17, they can hang out in an exclusive space called Social 020 on Deck 6. Royal Caribbean does a great job of planning activities just for teens like trivia contests, sports, and video game competitions, or just allowing them to hang out and make new friends. Sometimes they venture out to the sports court for activities. If you have an only child, I recommend having them visit the club on the first night, as that's when a lot of the introductions take place, but new friends can be made at any time. Royal Caribbean does a great job here for teens. Teens are free to come and go without being signed in or out. You can keep in touch with your teen via the Royal app so you know where they are. I was very clear with my teen that he was not to go roaming around the ship late at night. While the teens are doing teen things, you might want to check out Icon of the Seas Casino. It's the largest casino Royal Caribbean has ever built. In fact, it's the largest casino at sea, period. You'll find Casino Royale on Deck 4. Casinos on other Royal Caribbean ships can get pretty crowded in the evening, so creating more gaming space is definitely something Royal Caribbean got right. There are 5 sections of the casino with options like high-limit gaming, smoke-free, slots, table games, and a casino bar. When playing in the casino, be sure to have your SeaPass card so you can get points for your play. You may even accumulate some free play or get offers for a future cruise, even if you're just going to play casually. If you have sailed on a Royal Caribbean Oasis class ship before, Surfside might remind you of the Boardwalk neighborhood, but it's really very different with a lot of upgrades to Icon's Oasis class sisters. Surfside is another family area of the ship that offers a little something for everyone. Surfside is located on Deck 7 aft, and I like that there's a decent restaurant here because it's close to the children's playscape, Water's Edge pool for kids, and Splashaway Bay. Surfside Eatery is yet another buffet on board, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's also a quick service window as well. This means families can truly hang out in Surfside without having to wander off trying to find food and drinks. And speaking of drinks, the Lemon Drop Pool Bar is a family-style bar. Yep, a family bar. It specializes in tropical adult beverages and mocktails for the kiddos. You'll also find Pier 7 in Surfside, a specialty dining restaurant. It has a beach-inspired menu with things like surf and turf tacos and mango shrimp tostadas. Pier 7 is one of the few restaurants that is not included in your cruise fare. Central Park on Icon of the Seas is located on Deck 8 midship, just like on Oasis class ships, but you'll notice that Icon's iteration of Central Park is huge compared to the Oasis ships. That's not to say that Central Park is small on the Oasis ships, I mean that Icon's version is just extra large. This is one of my favorite spaces on Royal Caribbean ships. When you walk into Central Park, it makes you say to yourself, wow, hard to believe this is a cruise ship, and it looks even more amazing at night. Central Park is home to specialty restaurants like Chop's Grill, several bars like the Trellis Bar, Blues Jazz and Blues Club, and the swanky Empire Supper Club. The Park Cafe is included with your cruise fare and is a great spot for coffee, snacks, and light meals, and there's plenty of seating in Central Park to enjoy them. You'll also find upscale shopping here, as well as a champagne bar. Just below Central Park sits the Royal Promenade. It spans decks 5 and 6 and is really the heart of the ship, a Royal Caribbean trademark. Except Icon has the infamous Pearl, which is pretty cool in person. I think the Pearl is the one thing everyone is really looking forward to seeing when they get on board, and it's right there as soon as you walk on. And while the Pearl is pretty cool, the Pearl Cafe, with its comfy seating and massive picture window, is even better. To get to the Pearl Cafe, you can walk through the Pearl from Deck 5 up to the cafe on Deck 6. The cafe is one of my favorite spaces on Icon. I'm a coffee lover, and just being able to sit here with amazing views in a modern setting is amazing. This is something Royal Caribbean definitely got right. Royal Promenade is more spacious compared to other Royal Caribbean ships. Pedestrian traffic has better programming, so it doesn't feel as crowded. And of course, you'll find the classics here: Sorrento's Pizza, which has got to be the largest one at sea, Starbucks, an English pub, Boleros, Spotlight Karaoke, and all the Royal Promenade classics are all here. When you get to the Aquadome, prepare to be blown away. The Aquadome is a glass-roofed structure that stretches from deck 18 over the ship's bridge. It's the largest glass dome ever built for a ship, weighing 363 tons and covering more than 32,000 square feet. The Aquadome is a vibrant place at night and a peaceful oasis during the day, with restaurants, bars, ocean views, and the headliner, Aqua Action. Aqua Action is a Cirque du Soleil style show, which is located inside the Aquadome neighborhood. The show combines powerful music and futuristic technology with a cast of daredevils performing stunts and feats under a waterfall. The show is about 50 minutes long. The show requires reservations, so be sure to check the Royal Caribbean app prior to your cruise to see when reservations may be available. It can be different for each sailing, usually about 30 days prior to your embarkation date. But here's a tip: if you couldn't secure a reservation in advance, check with the box office on day one as soon as you get on board to see if there's any availability. The Aquadome Market is a new concept for Royal Caribbean. It's located on deck 15 forward and home to specialty crepes, Mediterranean food, salads, and a signature mac and cheese. Now it's connected to the Aquadome just outside the theater. The Aquadome is also a lounge, a great place to take in panoramic views of the ocean, similar to the view the captain sees from the bridge. You can find some great places to sit and relax here, like the Aquadome pods and a variety of lounge furniture. Think of this as a great place to take a nap in a climate-controlled atrium. There's a beautiful bar on one side and a coffee bar on the other, and of course, the Aquadome Market is just steps away. The main dining room is always a beautiful space in Royal Caribbean ships. Icon's dining room has 3 levels, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Located on decks 3 through 5, this space features a stunning chandelier and an impressive multi-level art display. Menus at the main dining room are pretty standard at breakfast and lunch. I find it's a little quieter in the dining room than in other venues on board. It's a concept that Royal Caribbean has perfected in terms of feeding thousands of people each night. Icon's main dining room follows the same traditions as all the other ships, with themed nights and a multi-course menu. One of my favorite things about Icon of the Seas is the elevator management system. I love cruise ships, but waiting for elevators can be annoying, especially when one finally arrives but it's already full. Icon of the Seas uses software to program the elevators. There are no buttons to press inside the elevator. You'll use a touchpad in the elevator lobby. The computer system will automatically assign you an elevator car with the best route to your destination. The elevator will not make more than 3 stops. I tested this system at length and it works extremely well. This is the future of elevators, and I hope to see this on even more cruise ships and hotels. Compared to Windjammers on other Royal Caribbean cruise ships, Icon's version is perhaps the best one yet, in that it can handle crowds well. If you've been to Windjammers on other ships, you know that it can be difficult to navigate and it can be nearly impossible to find a seat. Wonder of the Seas was the first ship to get a layout that worked extremely well. It has a much better flow and there's more seating. So Wonder's design paved the way for Icon. It can still be difficult to find seating during peak times, but keep in mind that Icon has over 20 restaurants on board. The majority of guests flock to the buffet, but there are so many great options that are included. I encourage you to check them out. Well, that's going to do it for this tour of Icon of the Seas. Did anything surprise you? Do you have a question about this ship? Use the comment section to get the conversation started. I'll be in the comments following along with you. My name is Darren from OrlandoParkSky.com. See how I can help you plan the best vacation with insider tips and professional advice. I'll also ensure you get all available discounts plus some exclusive offers. And now, here's another video that has been selected just for you.